Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to First Cut. This is our spoiler review of She-Hulk. Now that we finally got to see the season finale, we're going to talk about all the spoilery good stuff that we got inside this season, what we think about the show as a whole, what we think about the season finale, everything we're going to hit in this episode right here. I'm here with the crew. Wikum is in the house. RB3 is in the house. I am so curious because we reviewed the first 4 episodes right when we got the screeners, but now that we saw the whole season, I'm so curious to talk to you guys about it. And I'm going to start with the number one homie who already was on the She-Hulk hate train, and I'm going straight to you, RB3, with the USC hoodie, rocking it already. What'd you think about She-Hulk now that you saw the series finale, the season finale, and about the season as a whole? I'm going straight to you, man.
As the white pop band in Spider-Man 2 once sang, vindicated. I feel vindicated. That's what I feel. Okay, I feel like in the beginning I said this was one of the worst.
Dashboard Confessional, bro. Come on, get it right.
Is that who that did that? That's who did that. I thought it was like Green Day or something. I don't know. They all the same to me. Anyway, I feel like that's the I said from the beginning I thought this was going to be kind of like the worst, one of the worst Marvel shows. And in the end, to be fair, and a lot of people online are hating on the finale. I actually don't hate the finale that much. I actually think it is kind of funny. But I think as a total product, She-Hulk isn't what it lived up to be. But it's also given me a new standard of like, okay, some of these characters are literally not going to play into any kind of anything else. So I shouldn't care as much and just go more free flow. So, you know.
Wikum, we like the first 4 episodes. I'm curious what you think about everything we saw after the first 4 episodes. And now that you finished the season finale, what do you think about She-Hulk as a whole?
I think overall it was a breath of fresh air for me as far as the MCU goes. I think the tone and sort of the LA relatable millennial sort of vibe it has was really refreshing for me. And yeah, at times, you know, I wished it was more serious. I wish it was more dramatic. I wish there were higher stakes. But especially after the finale and the last few episodes, I kind of had a better understanding of what it was and what purpose it serves in the MCU. So I really loved the finale, and overall, I think it's definitely one of my top MCU shows as of now.
Wow, we are in polar opposites right here, starting with you two guys. This is incredible. I got to be real. I love the first 4 episodes. I thought they were slowly getting better and better each time. And then I really do feel like we hit a huge drop after episode 4, once we got into like 5-6 range. I thought those were pretty rough and kind of hard to get through, to be honest. I felt like the Daredevil episode, obviously we're talking spoilers, everyone knows that he came out. The Daredevil episode was pretty solid, and then obviously the finale, I really wanted them to kind of nail the landing, and they came out swinging with that finale. Let's get right to the finale, because they came out like literally like, let's go like all out. Let's do something ridiculous and crazy and something we haven't really seen in the MCU, and just swing for the fences. And sometimes when you swing for the fences, you're going to land on the fence and faceplant on it. Or sometimes you're going to like jump over the fence and clear it. But what'd you think about the season finale, RB3? Because I think you said you liked it a little bit more than the rest of the season as a whole.
Listen, as a Marvel geek, as somebody who, you know, loves when Marvel kind of like low-key pokes fun at themselves and like breaks the fourth wall. And, you know, I'm somebody who, you know, got teary-eyed in Avengers Endgame, especially when they kept going to those self-referential moments of phase 1. So that's just it's right up into my ballpark when they're just referencing themselves as this media industry conglomerate. So acknowledging that what they are, casting Kevin Feige as like an AI robot and almost playing the Marvel Cinematic Universe in like a cynical way, I really, really enjoyed that, and I thought that was funny. Now, as a superhero show ending, or as a lawyer show ending per se, or as a something that this show was like setting up for, I don't really think they really set up the best for that kind of finale. They did do the fourth wall breaks every now and then. They did talk to camera every now and then, but taking that huge stylistic jump like that was just a major play. And I don't know if it necessarily fit with the tone of the series, but it was just a big, it's a lot. It was a lot to take in. So, but overall though, I enjoyed it because I enjoy Marvel and I enjoy them being self-referential. But as a superhero story, it's not like the most, or as any kind of story, it's not like the most like satisfying ending because we really don't get a conclusion to any of these storylines.
Wikum, what'd you think of the season finale?
I was blown away at like as soon as it paused and went back to the Disney Plus menu. I legitimately thought like my TV just like had an error, and then she pops out of the box and goes in the assembled, goes in the real world, and then like it leads to Kevin Feige. I was like, is Kevin Feige gonna be in this show right now? I was about to lose my mind, but they took the route of making him this like AI who looks at the algorithms and creates the best Marvel story. Like I think they really pushed the boundaries of that fourth wall break. Like, yeah, she could talk to the camera and she could be self-aware that it's a show, but the fact that she could walk on the set of She-Hulk just really blew me away, and it makes me really excited for the fourth wall breaking capabilities of Deadpool in the future. I feel like if She-Hulk can do that, Deadpool can go even crazier with it. And originally I kind of liked where the ending was going with Abomination and the Intelligentsia and everything. And I was a little bit like, oh, I wish they like kept that going. I want to see Hulk versus Abomination. I want to see a cool epic CGI battle. But seeing She-Hulk talk to Kevin about like, this is how every Marvel story ends. Like, let's do something different. I appreciated that, and I saw and understood what they did and why they did it. I was like, you know what? This is different. This is the most different finale I've seen to a Marvel show yet. And as a deep Marvel nerd, I really love the meta aspect of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't lie. I was digging it when she started breaking the fourth wall. Like you said, we saw the Disney Plus menu. I was all in, and I really was like committing to the bit as far as like buying into it. But once we got to like the Marvel offices and it started to drag on a little bit too long for me. And then once we started hearing like needle drop for like, what is that song? Like
Energy by Lotto. That was fun.
Yeah. I was like, okay. But maybe this is dragging on a little too much. And then finally, when we got to the Kevin bot, I was like, okay, they're self-aware about their own algorithmic take as far as CGI fest and all that, which I thought was pretty funny. But I don't know if it necessarily nailed it once we got back, because once we got back, we see all of Intelligentsia was arrested. We see that Pug was high-fiving Nikki. Everything felt like, wait a minute, did we just skip like another scene? Like we could have had maybe an extra 5 minutes to at least wrap a little bit of that up, even if you did want to cut all the stuff that Jen was cutting in the fourth wall break when she was like, let's not have him turn into the Hulk, let's not have Abomination be Abomination. You could have kept everything she was saying but still replayed the scene. I felt like there was a little bit missing there, and I'm just not sure if they nailed it all the way. And I think that's kind of how I feel about She-Hulk as a whole. I feel like it's more of a incomplete product where I feel like I know what they were going for, but man, it was hit and miss like every episode for me. Like one episode was like, man, that was fun. And then the next episode I was like, I could have skipped that. And then one episode I was like, that was kind of okay. And then the next episode I was like, yikes. So I just felt like overall it's super mixed for me. I definitely liked the first four more than maybe the last four or the next four, I guess I would say. But I feel like overall She-Hulk tried really hard but didn't really land all the way for me. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just kind of how I feel. And I like what they're doing and I appreciate it, but I still feel like, I don't know, it was more missed than hits for me. That's just on my end. And I really do feel that way, especially coming off hype as far as laughing my ass off with Madison and shit like that, where I thought that was funny, but then that was the last we really got of that when it comes to that kind of comedy. So for me, I felt like it was more of a miss. But I do feel like when it comes to TV shows as a whole, in Marvel, we do kind of get the same thing every time. What I loved about WandaVision is that WandaVision was a sitcom. Every week was a sitcom with a little bit of a mystery in it. So everyone was watching it while they were laughing and enjoying the sitcom aspect. They were still trying to solve a mystery of what's actually going on. And then in the finale, they kind of ruined that, in my opinion, when it came to a CGI. I'm a witch and I have your children. And I was like, all right, this is kind of cheesy and corny and it didn't really work. But then to me, and I think RB3 is going to back me up on this, the one show that I think did it differently was Loki. Because Loki actually said, let's not have a CGI battle fest at the end of the show. Let's just have a bad guy talking to the good guys and literally explaining everything that we had questioned. And every question we had when it came to episodes 1 through 5 in Loki, we had Kang the Conqueror answering that question. And I feel like that was a really cool, different twist into the MCU Disney Plus Marvel TV show formula that She-Hulk was making fun of. So as much as I want to give them credit for being like, oh, you guys are the most different one, I still feel like Loki is still... I still think Loki did it better. I don't know what you think, RB3, about me saying that.
It did it better, and in a low-key way, it did it like more creative, because
in a low-key way.
And yeah, hey, there we go. Because when you really think about it, it is the same kind of conversation with like a godlike sentient being who's controlling the universe. And in this case, it was Kang the Conqueror and Loki, but in this case, it was Kevin Feige, literally. So it's like having that kind of conversation could have came off one way or a different way, but the difference is you have. And again, this is maybe me nitpicking or maybe me like going too hard at She-Hulk, but in one version you have a creative kind of indirect, subtextual way of explaining the metaverse of it with a great performance from Jonathan Majors and, production design and all this. And She-Hulk is literally just like Tatiana Maslany on a full CGI green screen talking to, some dots or whatever that looks like, a robot that, they CGI'd in later. And which, by the way, we're talking about just in speaking on the CGI, I know they kind of referenced and hit like, oh, our CGI artist like moved on to the next thing. Is that really an appropriate joke to be making right now when there like mad allegations coming out about how they keep rushing and doing all their visual effects? And I don't want to say that. I don't want to go too hard on that because friend of the show, friend of us, me and Andres, Ryan Nielsen was actually the post-production supervisor on She-Hulk. So, I don't want to go too hard on visual effects, but I got to be objective and just say they're bad. They're bad for the majority of the season. And for the first 4 episodes, they were good. But then episodes 5, 6, and 7, those are all 3 bad episodes, but also the She-Hulk CGI was just really bad too. I feel like they really only cared when it came to the Daredevil episode and the finale. And, like maybe the first few, but as somebody who only liked like 4 or 5 episodes of this whole, 9-episode series, it definitely, like you said, Andres, is like super hit or miss.
What do you guys think of the Daredevil episode? Because I feel like that was another one that was kind of mixed around the board. I'll start with you, Wikum.
I was also mixed feelings about the Daredevil show because I was a big fan of the Netflix Daredevil. The sort of dark, gritty take on it was amazing, and it was nice. It was nice to see him and new costume, and just like everybody was predicting, he was jokey and cracking, wisecracks here and there. And I wasn't mad at that. The only thing I wish was better was they did a hallway sequence, and I was like, oh, are they gonna do the Netflix hallway sequence? Are they gonna are they gonna like do that justice? And they didn't. And that fight scene with him felt a little disappointing, and that was one of my favorite things about Daredevil was the fight sequences and the fight choreography. And I'm like, Marvel has all this money to spend on a full CGI character, She-Hulk, but like they can't get fight choreographers from the Netflix series to do like a hallway scene. Like that was just like, all right, at this point, you guys are just like choosing to not do it. Like that's a choice, you know what I mean? So that was a little frustrating.
Yeah, I kind of want to go off that because I think they were kind of teasing that on purpose. I think that was kind of the point of the joke is like we're not going to do that because you guys are so used to that if you've watched the Netflix Daredevil show. But at the same time, kind of going off your point, Wikum, Daredevil, I like Daredevil in She-Hulk. I liked everything about him, but exactly that point you made, the fight choreography is the one thing that I was like, wait a minute. did they really just make an all CGI Daredevil? And they're just making him like do a bunch of flips in CGI mode. And I was like, that's one thing where I'm like, come on, guys. Like, you're the MCU. You don't have to make every damn character an all CG character. You can, like, Daredevil's literally like an acrobatic martial artist. Just get an acrobatic martial artist. You don't have to make him a CGI character. He's not Thanos. He's not Iron Man. Like, that's the one thing that kind of bugged me, that we saw like an all CGI version of him. But what'd you think of RB3?
Yeah, I actually did like the Daredevil episode a lot, and people said he was like too jokey and all that stuff. But honestly, after watching the She-Hulk episode, I went back and started watching Daredevil season 1, and he's not like he's moody, but he's only moody because of like everything else that's around him. He's like moody because of like depressing New York. He's moody because he's like dealing with like father trauma. But like in this one, but also in the Netflix Daredevil show, he was still cracking jokes. Like, he was still like a pretty funny guy. So like, I didn't necessarily like have that same criticism or critique. That being said, though, yeah, the all CGI was a little bothersome, especially when he was like flipping off the building. He did that little crazy, which I thought was cool, and I'm glad they upped that level of the acrobatics a little bit. But at the same time, it's like, yo, like when they're actually doing hand-to-hand combat, you could do that real, like I said. But otherwise, though, yeah, the suit was a little questionable too. The suit was a little funny too. But also, I love the portrayal of Matt Murdock, though, like smashing She-Hulk on first sight, like not even, I guess he can't even see, so it's not even on sight. But it's the way he just like slid right in was just so classic. Like, I was like, yo, wow, that's
slid right in, yo.
Yeah, I mean, not like that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, slid into her heart. Jeez Louise.
No, I just think it's funny you said when he smashed She-Hulk, when everyone was saying, wait a minute, I thought She-Hulk smashed him. What's going on, RB3? What are you trying to say, bro?
See, yeah, nah, I didn't even do the science on that. Yeah, no, she smashed him.
I didn't do the science on that.
That's facts.
Yeah, I feel like the Daredevil episode worked. There was definitely the Wong episode worked. A lot of stuff worked. I just feel like overall, it didn't hit. I felt like the Titania wedding episode was weak as hell, in my opinion. I thought that was rough. Like, I didn't even tweet out about that one. I was like, damn, I'm not even going to tweet about it. There was just a lot of roughness when it comes to this kind of show, and I felt like overall, that's what it is. But let's finish off by ranking our MCU TV shows real quick. Now that we finished this, RB3.
Okay, wait. So we going? Okay, I'm not sure if I'm actually capturing all of this when I'm doing this ranking. So let me know if I'm getting all of them. But I'm going to say number 1, Loki. Number 2, WandaVision. Number 3. Wait. Can we have like a run through of like where are all the shows? My bad.
Yeah, let's do this. So I have the Marvel shows so far. We have WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, I Am Groot, and She-Hulk.
Wow, this not a great list.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. It's a lot, and it's not the greatest. But okay, I'm gonna go with number 1, Loki. Number 2, Miss Marvel. Number 3, WandaVision. Number 4, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Number 5, What If. Number 6, Hawkeye. Number 7, Moon Knight. No. I'm sorry. She-Hulk number 7, and Moon Knight last. She-Hulk is definitely better than Moon Knight.
You're not counting I Am Groot.
Oh, I Am Groot. Oh man, do we count that? I mean,
all right, we don't have to count it.
Nah,
Wikum and I didn't see it, so
yeah.
All right, Wikum, I'm going straight to you, man.
All right, so my list comes to WandaVision number 1, Loki, Falcon Winter Soldier, and this might piss you guys off a little bit, but She-Hulk number 4, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, and What If.
No, Miss Marvel? Where's Miss Marvel?
Oh, I would put it Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, then What If. That would be fair.
Wow. Damn. That's kind of low for Miss Marvel, man.
Wait, yeah, so
especially
yeah,
Hawkeye.
yeah, I was gonna say like,
Damn.
so where'd you have Hawkeye? So my bad. Do you mind running that through one more time, bro? Like,
Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna make a little edit right here because I completely missed Miss Marvel. I'm gonna reset. Okay, WandaVision, Loki, Falcon, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye. What if? That's
Okay.
final answer.
Okay.
okay,
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I'll do mine. Loki, WandaVision, Miss Marvel. Then I'll go Falcon, Winter Soldier, Moon Knight. What if? Then I'll go She-Hulk, then Hawkeye. Did I get them
Wow.
all?
I think so.
I think I got them all.
Damn, that's low for She-Hulk. Both of you
Yeah,
guys.
She-Hulk
got
is
low
near
for
the bottom
She-Hulk.
for me, but
Whoa.
it's still not as bad as Hawkeye.
Yeah, I
Hawkeye
don't
took
even
that
remember
cake.
Hawkeye. It's so hard for me.
So
I'm
bad.
trying my best to remember it. And it was a very forgettable show.
I think WandaVision, Miss Marvel, Loki being in my top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Moon
I would
Knight up
actually-
at 5.
I would put She-Hulk above Hawkeye too. Now we're talking about it, like it's definitely better than Hawkeye for sure.
Yeah, Hawkeye was whoo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was rough.
There was like
That was
one good
terrible.
scene in that whole show.
And one thing I've been noticing is sort of everybody's coming off Endgame, right? Like the peak of Marvel was Infinity War and Endgame, and I feel like we're at the end of Phase 4 now, and everybody's comparing the end of Phase 4 to the end of Phase 3, which I think is a mistake. We should be comparing Phase 4 to Phase 1 because we're building a new sort of saga, the multiverse saga. And yeah, if I compare it to Phase 3, Endgame, Infinity War, it doesn't even come close, right? But if I compare it to Phase 1, and I've recently watched the entire Phase 1 through 3 in timeline order, it's actually in some ways stronger and in some ways weaker.
Yeah,
But
no, that makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, but compare She-Hulk to Thor: The Dark World. Like, which one do you like better? You know what I mean? Well, that's Phase 2, but do you think that She-Hulk is worse than, let's say, Captain America 1 or Thor 1 or The Incredible Hulk? I feel like that's
First
where
Avenger.
the conversation should be. Yeah.
yeah. We're gonna
Worse
get
than
into
the
all that
Incredible
when we
Hulk is
do.
interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's a good comparison though. I like that comparison. We're gonna get into all that in our Phase 4 discussion, which is our next video we're gonna make. But those are our thoughts on She-Hulk. Let us know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Make sure you guys give us a follow at First Cut TMO and at First Cut on YouTube. You can follow me at Squad Leader Ace. Wikum.
You can follow me at Wikum with a V on Instagram.
And RB3.
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Director RB3. Also stream timestamp on Amazon Prime Video.
Make sure you guys give us a follow also over at TikTok at First Cut TMO. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't done so already and like this video, but for all that good stuff. But either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, we're going to be peacing out. So peace, deuces.
It's either me or you. It's either me